Hi, everybody. I can't believe I'm doing like my first webinar. I'm gonna wait just a couple minutes to see if anybody joins before I start talking about the 5 things that have helped change my life and kind of get it back a little bit. I kind of lost it, so I'm excited. I have my little list here. I feel like I'm a black hole. I shouldn't have worn black. Oops. So we'll wait a couple minutes. I feel like I should talk to you about something. I curled my hair for you guys. It's nice. It's a bonus. Doesn't happen very often. Let's see. What else? It's Wednesday. I had a meeting this morning, which was good. And my kids are at school. Kenny's at the dentist. It's good. Let's see. Do you like this desk? That was my old desk. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen like my Snapchat. My husband Kenny built a new desk for me, and I need to like share more pictures, but our basement's kind of dark and I don't feel like it'll do it justice. But it's so awesome and I love it. We just need to dispose of the old one. What else? This is awkward waiting for people. Oh, I do have a viewer. Hi, viewer. Let me know who you are in the chat and where you're from. Maybe I'll know you, maybe I won't. 2 viewers, oh my gosh. So we'll wait just another couple minutes to jump on here. And then there should be a replay, just so you know, that it should be posted on my YouTube channel, so you can rewatch it later. Wait 1 more minute. I feel like I'm usually late to things like this, so I should probably give grace to the people who are like me and are usually late. I'm really excited about sharing this stuff with you guys. I am a wife. We've been married. My husband and I have been together for like 11 years, but we've only been married for 2, going on 3, I think. So we're like still kind of newlyweds, and we have a 4-year-old little boy and then a 1-year-old little girl, and our kids are totally opposite. So I really like didn't get my life together until I had my daughter, and it was like she was so hard that it was just I had to start, because if I didn't, I was literally going to drown in everything. So I have 2 kids, and if you don't know, I run my own photography business. I focus on like weddings and then birth stories, so like maternity. I do births, but very limited births. Fresh 48s, newborns, and that kind of stuff. And then I do families as well. So I'm busy, and that's such a blessing. But I started to hate my business, and I started to feel like I was totally failing at being a mom to my kids and a wife to my husband, because I was pulled in like 50 different directions, and I was so stressed out all the time. And so it was like, really, I kind of have like my husband to thank for these, because these are all things that like he's been encouraging me to do for a really long time. And it was like, no, that's not going to work. I wanted like that quick fix, like that boom, life-changing moment that I was like, oh yeah, that's what I need to do to get this all together. And I need this program, I need that program, and this and that. And it's really like the most simple things to do to change your life. And you're probably gonna be like, that's it, that's stupid. But I'm telling you, these things have helped me get my life back. So the first thing that I want to talk about is making time for sleep. It sounds seriously so stupid to be like, oh yeah, you need to sleep. Well, of course you need to sleep. But what I was doing is I would work all day. I would stay up half the night. So I would work until like 3 or 4 in the morning. And then I would have to get up at 7 o'clock with my kids. And when Arden was first born, literally until like she was 10 months old, she was getting up every 2 hours. So I would go to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I would get up at 6, and then I would get up at 7 to get everything started for the day. And I was running on like 2 to 3 hours of sleep a night, and I literally felt like I was dying all the time. And I ended up, I don't know, it was probably June, I think, June or July. We had dinner one night, and then I literally got the worst stomach ache. And then I ended up spending the entire night in the fetal position, went to the hospital and I had to have my appendix out. And Kenny came to the hospital and he's like, do you think that it's time to like change your habits? Like, it's not healthy that you stay up all night and you're running on no sleep and coffee. And I literally would drink coffee every day because I couldn't function. And so I started doing that. I started going to bed at a decent time. I don't stay up till 2 or 3 in the morning anymore. Like, I'll stay up till maybe midnight. And then I go to bed because I have to function the next day. I have to be well rested. And when I wasn't sleeping, I was mean. I was mean to my husband. I was mean to my kids. I was so short tempered. And I would cry because I'm like, that is not the type of wife that I want to be. That is not the type of mother that I want to be. Like, I want my kids to have fun with me. And I can't do that because I'm tired and I'm exhausted and I'm stressed to the max because I didn't get anything done during my day because I wasn't sleeping. So when I started sleeping more, I became more focused in my work and I was able to sit down and work. And I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I can't even keep my eyes open. I wasn't on that struggle of like, my brain wasn't functioning. I couldn't think fast enough. I was like, what else do I need to do? I don't even know. And so it sounds so stupid, but I'm telling you, when you give your body and your mind a chance to rest, you wake up the next day and you feel like a new person. And I don't even know if that's like my number one thing. I was trying to figure out what order I wanted to put these in. And I don't know that there's a particular order, but that was probably the biggest change is like, give your body and give your mind time to like take a break and rest. Because if you don't do that, I promise you, like, you will never get where you want to be because you're so tired all the time. So that probably is my number one suggestion. And when you guys go to make these life changes is like sleep. You know, it's like they say when you have a newborn, like sleep when your kids sleep. Yes, you should do that. I wasn't doing that because one, Arden never slept, but I was like, I can't do that. I can't go to bed. I have work to do. And if I'm sleeping, then I'm not working. And if I'm not working, I'm not getting the things done that I need to do. Wrong. Totally wrong. If I slept, then I would be well rested to actually do the things that I needed to do. Sleeping, you guys, has made me a different person. It's helped with my dark circles too, which is a bonus. So the next thing I want to talk about is, you guys are going to laugh, create lists. It is seriously, again, like, I feel like all my tips for you guys are kind of like, they're stupid. And you would think that like, oh my gosh, I've thought about that, but I've never implemented it. Create list, whether it's on paper. Some people they have a notebook, and that's great. If you like to physically write it down, buy a notebook, and it doesn't have to be huge. It could just be little, and take it with you. And as you're going throughout your day, like, jot down like, oh yeah, I need to do that. I need to email that person, or I need to take those boots back to the store. Like, whatever it is that you have to do, whether it be personal or like within your business, if you are a business person, you have to, like, just, if you have multiple things, if you're juggling multiple things, I think that it's really hard to remember all the things that you have to do, especially as your kids get older and they're starting to do things. Like, thankfully, like, our kids aren't even doing activities. If I didn't implement these things, that time would be awful. I can already tell you that if I had to get Beckett to soccer practice and Arden to dance, like, on top of running a business and being a mom and making sure dinner's on the table, if I didn't start creating lists, I would never get anything done because I wouldn't remember what I had to do. So, and then there's like those people that they don't like to take a notebook. They don't like to write things down. And they're like, well, how am I supposed to remember what I have to do if I don't want to carry a notebook? You guys, cell phone. Oh, look at my kids. Aren't they cute? Your cell phone has a notepad in it for the most part, or you can download an app that allows you to like write notes down. And I do that throughout my day. I am a notebook person. Like, I make notes all the time in my notebooks, but I also take my phone with me, and I literally have like 40 notes on my thing about when I started different notes. Yeah, I have to do this. I have to do that. And that has been a huge thing. So like, I like this little, I know this is stupid, but I like this notepad because it has 2 lines. And so what I do is I write down the personal things that I need to do in my life and the business things I need to do in my life. So today, if I need to do laundry, it goes on my to-do list. If I need to buy Arden diapers, it's on my to-do list. If I need to email back certain people, then that's what I do. I write it all down on my list, and I'm telling you, it is like kind of like empowering to like cross things off your list. As stupid as that sounds, like, I genuinely enjoy being like, I got that done. How awesome is that? And so it sounds like super stupid to be like, oh, I need to make a list, but I'm telling you, it will help put everything down. Just it'll help you like focus and be able to like make sure that you're accomplishing the things that are on your to-do list, because there's like nothing worse than having a whole mindset of things that you have to do, and then at the end of the day being like, oh gosh, I didn't do any of those things. So that's why I like to create lists. And I also, a lot of times I'll do my to-do list right before I go to bed, because I used to get in bed and my mind would be like working overtime as soon as I went to go to bed, because I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to get up and I have to, do laundry. The dishes are overflowing. I have 4 people to email back, and I have to create a wedding timeline, and I have those pictures to edit, and I have that gallery link to send. And I would think about it all as I was trying to like wind down for bed. So what I've started doing is like when I get in bed, I get on my phone and I type out my to-do list for the next day. And then I can go to bed. I can go to bed and be like, okay, I know that there's everything that I need to do is in my phone. And it's helpful. Like when I get up, if I think about something else, I can just type it in my phone and there it is. I can take it with me throughout the day. There's been times I've left my house to do errands and I can't remember what I left, like the things that I have to do. And I'm like, what do I have to do? So I literally type like, I have to go to the bank. And when I go to the bank, what do I have to do? I have to deposit that check. I have to transfer money to this bill or whatever it is. It's all on a list for me. That way my mind doesn't have to be like pressured to remember all the bazillion things I have to do in my life. I just write it down and it has to think really hard for like 10 minutes. And then, it's on my paper, it's in my phone. So creating lists has been probably another huge, like, I don't know, it's probably not the second thing, but it's been huge in, I'm like allowing me to like bundle up everything in my life and organize it in a way. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I'll put like numbers like, okay, I need to email these people back first. So that's like, I'll put a 1 and circle it. And then I need to, finish this editing session. So that's second. And then, so there's ways that you can do it to where you become more organized. But I think it'll allow you to especially go back to number 1 and like getting good sleep, is because your mind isn't going to be filled with the bazillion things that you have to do. You can write them down and then put it away for the night. So the next thing that has helped me, this is a really top one. So I set office hours and I stick to them. I do think that everything that I'm talking about can really benefit anybody. So if you are a stay-at-home mom, I think that this can benefit you. If you run a small business, this can benefit you. So that's why like I just love these things, because I think that they can really benefit everybody. So I set office hours and I stick to them. Last year, I would get text messages at 11 o'clock from clients. I would get emails at midnight or 2 in the morning, and I'm up working. So what did I do? I would respond to them. And then I'm having like a texting conversation at 11 o'clock at night when I'm supposed to be spending time with my husband, when I'm supposed to be, doing the other things that are on my to-do list that I didn't get done during the day. And I was working literally 24 hours a day. I was working. And that's so hard. That is so hard for your kids. My kids never got my focus because I was texting clients. I was answering emails. I was editing so I have my computer that I edit on here in the basement, which is where kids play. Can't see any other toys because they're pushed against every wall here. So my life looks a little bit more together, but I never stopped working. I would come downstairs when it was supposed to be family time and I would sit here and I would be talking with my kids and I'd be like, oh yeah, that's so fun. And then I would be editing and I'm like, what am I doing? Like my kids are going to think of me as not a mom. They're going to be like, this lady works all the time. And it has been so refreshing to know that like when I leave my house to pick up my kids from school, I am done. I'm done working. And if you're a stay-at-home mom and you're like, well, my kids don't go to school, that's fine. Your work hours become maybe nap time, and that's your work hours. And that's okay because that's what works for your life at that time. And that's what you have to do. And I think that there's this constant pressure of like, you know, you have to like give everything you have to like growing your business. And that's how I felt. And I felt like I was failing at it because I'm like, if I don't give my clients 100% of my attention, then they're going to hate me and they're not going to want to use me and they're going to find somebody else that they think gives them more attention. And that is not the case. Like, I put so much pressure on myself to give. Like, I have to give all of myself. That the people that weren't getting any of me was my husband and my kids and myself. Like, I never did anything for myself. I was putting so much effort into my business and growing it, and it grew, but I wasn't happy in it. I was starting to hate my job and the thing that I love doing, like the passion that I've had for years, that the thing that I wanted to do most, I didn't want to do anymore because it was literally soaking up every ounce of me. And I was lacking in the other things that I was so passionate about, which is like my children and my husband. Like, that's my number one thing that I've ever wanted to be in my life, is like a wife and a mother. And then it was like pictures, but then it was like pictures became more because it was so important to me that my kids looked at me as a success. I want, you know, my husband has a successful job and I wanted my kids to look at me and be like, my mom did something so great and look at what she did and she's successful. And in doing that, I was failing at everything else because I was so, and I wasn't even being successful in my business because I I was I wasn't organized about it and I wasn't focused. So I never had office hours, so I worked all the time. But then my work that I was doing wasn't, I would be like editing pictures and then I'd be so tired of editing pictures because I had been editing for like 9 hours that I would take a break and I would get on Facebook and I would check my email and this and that and this and that. And I never got anything done. It took me longer, I feel like, to edit pictures than what it does now. And I work less. And, you know, so it's like my kids know that like when I pick them up now, like we come home and I cook dinner, and sometimes I cook dinner sometimes. But I come home and like I'm theirs. And there's times that, yes, like there's a few things that I have to do, but at the end of the day, like I am my kid's mom and that is what I love. Like I want to wrestle with my kids on the floor and play basketball and play Nerf guns. And I can do that because I'm done working when I leave my house to pick them up. And that is such a weight off my shoulders. So what do I do now? Now I don't even have my email on my phone. The only way, I mean, I could get on like Safari and check my email, which I've done, but I would get an email notification every time somebody would message me. So I would get on there and answer it. Now I don't do that. I get on my email usually in the morning, and I get on my email usually like one of the last parts of the day. I'll get on my email and check it. Or after my kids go to bed, I tend to, oh my God, Kitty's calling me. Sorry. I will get on my email at the end of the day. And if that's like another time that maybe I'll just send an email. If I know that I'm going to have a busy day the next day, I'll send an email at night. But I don't do it when my kids are awake. So I set office hours and I stick to them. And that has made a world of difference. I don't hate my business anymore because when I'm working, I'm working. And when I'm at home, I'm at home. And I think that that is so key, especially if you have kids, to do that, to like stop working when they're home, because you guys are only little for so long. And I know that everybody tells you that, but Arden is like our last baby. And I kind of feel like I missed a lot. Like, I feel like I just wasn't present. And the same thing with Beckett. Like, I did a lot of my growing my business while Beckett was little. And like now he's 4, you guys. And the other day, what was he doing? He was getting cereal out. And I was like, do you want me to help you? And he's like, no, I got it. And I'm like, and Kenny just started like laughing at me because he was like, haha, like he doesn't even need your help anymore. And I'm like, no, like I thought he would. I was like 14 and I was like, Mom, make me a bowl of cereal. Like I thought he would need me forever, and he doesn't. He's growing, and I just don't want anybody else to feel that way, that like, oh, I missed things. And I don't feel like I missed a lot, but I did. I wasn't present. And I think that when you set office hours, you guys are going to become present in your life. And I know this is stupid, but like I'll talk about that in a second. So set office hours, you guys, and stick to them. And if your office hours can only be while your kids are napping, that's it. Because the big thing is like your clients are going to understand that. And if they don't understand that, they're not your clients. If your friends don't understand that, like you have a job and that's when you work, and you know what I mean? Like I don't get a lot of free time to like go do fun things with my friends because I'm a wedding photographer. So guess what I'm doing most weekends? I'm taking pictures at weddings. Like we didn't get to go celebrate New Year's because I had a wedding, which is fine. Like that's what I chose to do. And I love my clients, and I like my New Year's Eve wedding was so awesome. I can't even describe it. But you know what I mean? Like that's, if I don't have friends that understand the type of business that I'm in, then they're not my friends. You know what I mean? Like I don't get mad because they work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Like they shouldn't get mad at me because I have shoots in the evening. You know, it's just one of those things that like the people and the clients that understand your life, if you're a mom, they're going to understand that. And if they don't, they're not your clients. If your friends don't understand that, like you have a business and sometimes you work evenings and you have weekends that you have to work, like they're not your friends. And so moving on, I could talk about that for like 25 hours and I'd probably repeat myself a lot. So make time for you, your husband, and your kids. I think that this kind of goes hands in hands with like setting office hours, but I could set office hours and then not be present. Does that make sense? So like I could work, but then I'm here and I'm not present with my kids. So I think that like making time for you and your husband and your kids is important. So like by making time for you, like if I meet with a friend of mine once a week for coffee, and I actually edit. She's a photographer, so we sit and we edit together. But I'm telling you, it is like my own time. It is time for me to go there and I can be like, ugh, Kenny didn't fold the laundry yesterday and I'm so annoyed with him, which isn't true because he usually folds their laundry. But just as an example, I make time for me, and that's important. And everybody's me time is going to be different, and whether that's like taking a soaking bath by yourself or going to get your nails done, like time for you is important because you need to feel good about yourself, and you need to like recharge. Being a mom is like literally the hardest thing in the entire world. And then you add being a wife, like you have to grow with your spouse, like you're changing all the time. You have to grow with them, and you know they might have a stressful job and you have a stressful job, or you're a stay-at-home mom and that's stressful. Like you have all these stressful things in your life, like you have to make time for you to like mentally recharge yourself. But you also need to make time for your husband. And I can't tell you, this is so stupid. Speaking of husband, clearly I haven't made enough time for him because he keeps calling me. So we're trying to get out of debt. We have a lot of school loan debt and some credit card debt from when we lived in St. Louis, and we're trying desperately to get out of it. So our me time with each other does not look like we don't go to we don't go spend a bunch of money. We don't go out to dinner all the time. We don't go to the movies. We literally sit on the couch. We snuggle up after the kids go to bed and we watch a movie. And that, I'm not kidding, has so much has bettered our relationship because we just take time for each other. And on Wednesdays is actually Kenny's days off. And, you know, it's his time to get the things done and take time for himself. He usually goes to get his haircut on Wednesdays. So he takes that me time for himself. But it's also like we send Arden to school on Wednesdays because Wednesdays are kind of like our time to sit and have lunch together and talk and do adult things. And it is so nice to have like a day with him and at night to like snuggle up on the couch with my husband and watch a movie. It is so awesome. And just like, it has bettered our relationship. Like we don't bicker like we used to. It was like, not that like we were, I don't think ever on like the verge of like divorce, but I was like looking at our relationship and it was not healthy. Like he was frustrated. He was exhausted because I wasn't present. My mind was somewhere else all the time. It wasn't focused. I never put my work down, and it was draining him. Like it was like, where did my wife go? And where's the mom to my kids? I want help. He comes home, he's tired, he's worked all day. And here I just wasn't here. And so making time for him has been fun. And our relationship is like kind of grown, and it's just like I love when you've been together with somebody for like 11 years, even though we've only been married for a few, like it's hard to like keep things interesting and keep things spunky and to still have fun and like each other. I think that, everybody goes through sports where they're like butting heads, but our relationship, like we don't fight like we used to fight. We don't, our patience with each other is greater, and we just genuinely enjoy being around each other more because we're present. I'm present with him. And the same thing with my kids. The other day, Kenny's aunt was in town and we took the kids sledding, and I had work to do. I had stuff to do, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to take time away and I'm going to go take time with my kids. And it was so fun. I still need to like post my fun pictures, but it was so fun. And the other day I took time out of my day because I was busy, but both my kids home. It was a snow day. I kept them home. I was too scared to drive them to school. And I took their pictures, you guys. I can't tell you the last time I took my kids' pictures. And Beckett loved it. Oh my gosh, she had so much fun. Arden didn't want to sit still, which is fine. But I have these adorable pictures of my kids that I never take because I'm always investing in everybody else's families, which I love because my clients are seriously like family and I adore them. But I took pictures of my own kids and I was like, why don't I do this more? Like, it took me, I literally probably took pictures for like 5 minutes because Arden was just all over the place and Becca has a short attention span. But I took pictures for 5 minutes and I came down and I pulled out literally like 7 of them, I think, and I edited them so quick. And I'll probably never edit anything else out of that session, and that's okay. But I made time for my kids and it was a fun memory. It was a fun physical thing that we were doing. My kids were sick and it was snowing. We played. I didn't have that much office hours because my kids were here, so on the days that my kids were home, those snow days, my office hours they weren't 9 to 4 like they usually are. It was literally like 2 hours while Arden was sleeping. And I did all these things with my kids and I make time for them now. And, I usually keep Beckett up a little bit after Arden goes to bed because I want him to have like his time. Arden stays home with me a couple days a week. And so she gets like a lot of alone time with me, but Beckett doesn't. And, lately he's been like sitting with me watching. I have some friends over on Tuesdays and we watch This Is Us. And I've been letting him sit up with me and he'll talk to me. I try to let him teach him that, you can't talk while this show's on because it's disrespectful to the people that came to watch it. But he sits with me and I think he likes that. I think he likes just being up with us, and I make time for my kids and for my family. And y'all, you don't have to spend a lot of money to do it. Get on the floor with your kids. They don't care if you take them anywhere. They just want you to be present in their lives. And that's all you have to do. You have to stop working at a certain time and you have to make time for your kids. And if that means that, your work hours are cut short, that's fine. Because the thing that I've learned about all of this is that like when you set office hours and you make time for yourself, and you make time for sleep, you organize your life with your list, I'm telling you, during those hours, I am so much more focused on what I'm doing because I know like this is the time that I'm going to work, because when I'm done working, I'm done. There's no coming back down here to edit. So if I need to get this done, then I better sit my butt in this chair and I better work hard. And so doing all these little things have really helped focus me that when I'm at work, I am at work, because I'm telling you before, I was like at work, but I was on Facebook and I was looking at this person's life. And then I'm over here like doubting myself because I see all these other people and what they're doing and their businesses. And here I am, I'm struggling. I can't figure it out. Y'all, I figured it out. I just was doing it wrong. I was so wrong in how I was balancing my life. And it was hurting every aspect. By being so unbalanced, everything sucked. I sucked at it all. And I'm confident in saying that because I'm not like that anymore. Do I struggle, you guys? Yes, I struggle. Is it hard sometimes when I didn't get all the things that I wanted to get done in my day to not like have that desire to like sneak away down here and do it? Yeah, that's hard. It's hard for me but I have to fight the urge because it's important. Everything else in my life is equally as important as my business. And I'm a better business owner, when I take time for my kids and my husband and myself. I'm a better business owner because I don't resent my clients. I don't feel like they're engulfing my life. Like and that sounds kind of bad. Like I don't mean it in the way that like my clients aren't important and I don't want them to be a part of my life. I do, but I also want them to understand that like I have my life and my kids and my husband are important and I want to be a part of their lives, but I'm not going to like text them. I might text them during dinner, but I surely don't expect a text message back. I probably won't text them during dinner, but you get what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like I became a better business owner. I was able to invest and be more fulfilling to my clients when I wasn't pulled in 50,000 directions. And by the way, you guys, if you have questions or you have like a specific thing, put it in the chat. I want to know I want to know what you guys are struggling with. I want to know who you are and where you're from, and I want to know what your struggle is because I want to help you. Because the changes that I've made in my life have my hand looks really big. Um, you guys, I get distracted easily. But it is so different, you guys. My life is so different. I don't know how happy I was. And my husband would tell me that, you guys. He would be like, Sarah, you were so unhappy. Like, why are you so unhappy? Do you know how exhausting it is to feel like your wife is unhappy all the time? And I was, because I was pulled in 50,000 directions, and I'm not anymore. And I'm happy with my husband, and I'm happy with my kids, and I love my business, and I love my clients. I love my kids. I love it all because I'm free. Like, my life is free. I'm organized. Maybe not as organized as I should be, but I don't feel like I'm stretched in thousands of directions. And then the last thing, you guys, that I want to talk about is allowing yourself grace, because we're not perfect. We are human, and that's okay. And the days that I don't get my to-do list accomplished, that's okay, because those things that I didn't finish go to the top of my list for the next day. And, you know, oh, Kenny, I promise I'm not ignoring you, but I am. When, you know, the last couple of days, like, we've had some things going on with my grandma, and I've not been home, and I've not been working, and last night, like, it's been stressful. Like, emotionally, I've been stressed about my grandma. And I haven't been with my kids. I've been busy, and I've been stressed about my business because I have emails piling up in my inbox, and I have pictures that I need to edit, and I wanted to have these pictures done a couple days ago, and I didn't get them done, but that's okay, because like, I give myself grace. I'm allowed to not be perfect, and you're allowed to not be perfect. You're allowed to have a messy house, y'all. You're allowed. I remember, Kenny, when I brought Arden home, we had dishes everywhere, everywhere. I'm talking on the counters, in the sink, everywhere. They were everywhere. Laundry through the roof, and it's still not perfect, y'all. I still got dishes in my sink up now. If I took you upstairs, there'd be dishes all in my sink, but that's okay because I don't stress about it. I'm a working mom. I am a wife, and that's okay that things aren't perfect. Like, do I invite people to my house a lot? No, because it does stress me out that I have dishes in my sink. But guess what? When people come over, they know that I'm human. And I think that we live in a world that people only show you what they want you to see, which, I'm not going to lie, I did that today. You should look over here because you can't walk, and you should look behind the couch back there because there's like 5 blankets that are thrown on the floor. But I don't want you all to think that I'm a slob. I'm not a slob. I'm busy. So here's my clean house. There's toys all over there, and that's okay. It's okay to not be perfect, and to give yourself grace that you didn't get everything done, that, you know, you don't have it all together, and that's okay. And there's times that I feel like I'm going crazy, and I didn't get my laundry done, and I didn't get my dishes done, and all these things. But at the end of the day, y'all, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters is that I'm happy, that I'm healthy, and then I love what I do. I love my photography business. I love my clients. I love my moms. I love these babies, y'all. I'm watching these babies grow. I've got kids that are coming in soon for their sessions. Like, what? I took your pictures a year ago when you were this little itty bitty baby, and now you're back, and I love it. I am at a point in my life. It's been a long time that I've always struggled with depression and anxiety, and I have these things, and I'm telling you, like, this has helped reduce my anxiety. It has helped make me happier because I feel like I'm not crazy. I'm not losing my mind and all these things and all this pressure, because at the end of the day, y'all, it doesn't matter. Give yourself grace. If your kids are fed and they're clothed and they're happy, you're doing it. You're doing it. And if your business is growing, in a sense, like, if you're doing what you need to do, and you're working on getting better at the things in your life, then you're doing it. If you're working on bettering yourself as a business owner, then you're doing it. You don't have to be perfect, y'all. That's my biggest thing. I was like, I need to be perfect. I need to be the best there is right now. And if it's not right now, then I'm failing. That's not true. That is not true. I think it's really hard for me to say, but, like, I've not been a failure yet. And I feel that way. I felt that way, but I've not been. My kids are growing. They are healthy. They are smart. They are funny. My business is growing. I'm growing as a person. I'm a better person today than I was yesterday. I give grace to other people because I know that I need it myself. I give grace to my husband, probably not as much as I should, but I do. You know, we're not perfect. He's not perfect. I'm not perfect. And that's okay. So allow grace for yourself, guys. That might be my number one. Like I said, I feel like all of these are just, they're so connected and intertwined that I think that they're all equally important. Um, because if you don't give yourself grace, then you're going to be stressed out about the other things and you're going to be stressed about being perfect. If you don't take time for yourself or you don't give yourself sleep time, you're not going to be focused when you're supposed to be focused. So, you know, like I said, if you guys have questions, like, let me know. I don't know. Do you guys even have a chat? I think the chat's up. This is my first time doing a webinar, so I don't even know what it's like. I don't know what you guys are seeing, I guess. So I hope that there's a chat. If there's questions you guys have, let me know. If you want to shoot me an email, like shoot me an email, like send me a message, because I think, you know, if you want like more of like a personalized, like, well, how can I do this? Like, I'm running a small business, but you know, I have tools. I do have programs that I use to help organize my life. And, you know, there's things that I'm aiming for. Guess what I'm aiming for? I would like to bring a cleaner. I would like to hire somebody to clean my house, like deep clean it. I can clean my house, but I want somebody to like deep clean my house. That's my goal for this year, is to like grow enough that I can hire somebody to help clean my house, because it would be nice to not. I got a boy, y'all. He's a little boy and he pees everywhere. And it's exhausting to clean up his pee every time. So I would like to like clean it up, then somebody come in and deep clean the bathroom, because sometimes I feel like I don't know how clean I got it. Off subject, but you get what I'm saying? Like, I have goals and I want to help you guys get your goals. And if that means like helping you figure out a schedule for your day, if you're a stay-at-home mom and you're like, how do I do this? Like, how do I get the laundry done when my kids are home with me all day? Because I do not have easy kids, guys. If you ask anybody, my kids don't stop. So let me help you. I want to help you. I just, my life has changed and it is such a blessing that I want you guys to do it too. I want to help you change your lives. Thank you so much for, you know, watching this. If you have questions, let me know. Shoot me an email. I just hope that you find these helpful. I know that they're probably not the quick fix. They're not that one all cure all thing, but I truly believe that if you guys start to do these things, your life will change too. I hope, like I said, I hope this helped. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions or things that you want help with, let me know. I hope to maybe start doing a few more webinars. I'm not sure what I would talk about. If you have any suggestions, let me know. I'll try not to wear black next time so I don't look like a black hole with my black hair and a black shirt and a black chair. Thank you guys again. I'm going to jump off here. I'm going to call my husband back and I'm going to get some work done. And I hope you guys have a great Wednesday. I look forward to chatting with you all soon. Bye.